This week, we're on Metro. Metro is an insane difficulty rated map, and for those of you that are new to the game, it is no joke. It might seem like it's the logical starting point since it is small, but the AI scabs in the map can be brutal. Metro also has a boss that you can farm pretty easily once you have the gear required, but we'll cover him a bit later. Before we get into anything, I want to start by saying thank you to everyone in the comments in the last video. Adding the key spawns and other things I missed helped consolidate some data and hopefully helped accomplish my goal of making the community within Exfilzone a little bit better. With that being said, I am hoping I was able to learn from that video and make this one a little more comprehensive. I challenge you guys to find a spawn that I might have missed and comment it below. Let's start at the lowest point in the sewers. Sewers can be identified by the rusty rails around a pool of water. Sewers have 2 player spawns as well as a few exfils. Within the player spawn in the main sewer room, you can find junk item spawns and a weapon case. Leaving the spawn and working into the central sewer room with the pool of water, you can find several junk item spawns, an armor box, 2 junk boxes, and a weapon crate. Looking out of the player spawn to the left, you can find a room that contains junk items. It's not a guaranteed spot, but on several occasions I've been able to find wires and chips in the junk spawns in this area. Wires and chips are both massive for bunker upgrades that you will more than likely want in the future. If you go right from the main sewer room, you will find a tunnel that leads up to another potential player spawn. At the top of this tunnel, there are 2 junk crates as well as 2 exfils. One of the exfils is on the right at the base level. If you check left, there is a ladder. To get to the other exfil, you have to climb the ladder, turn around, and find the pipe that crosses. You can walk across this pipe to find a weapon crate and the previously mentioned second exfil. Remember this location as we will come back to it later. If you were to walk straight out of the player spawn in the main sewer area, you would find a hallway that leads to a locked extract as well as the med area. This hallway veers to the right and has a side room containing junk item spawns as well as a larger box that can drop a variety of things to include helmets, armor, and a backpack. Moving down the hallway towards the large box, you will find a hole in the brick wall where you can find 3 lockers. This room is also worth remembering as we will come back to it later. Moving through this room will take you to the area that I have categorized as the med area. These area designations are purely my own for the sake of keeping the video organized and do not necessarily match up with the boundaries of the game or the missions. Moving into the med area, you will find a large circular room with planters in the center. You will have to visit this area in the future for a quest. If you are on the hunt for any type of medical supplies, this whole portion of the map will be incredibly useful to you. Within the lower stories of the structures found around this room, you can find 2 white desktop drawers, a couple lockers, and several blue drawers containing medical supplies. These blue drawers have a silver handle to let you know they are accessible. Do not forget to check them, as you can commonly find higher tier med supplies as well as food and water. In the middle of the room by the planters, you can find a few desks with junk spawns as well as some more white desktop cabinets. On one side of the middle room, you can also find a black filing cabinet that can spawn a variety of items. On the second story of the structure closest to the sewer side, you can find 2 lockers, food and water spawns, and several more med spawns within the same style blue drawers from the first floor. Opposite of this structure, there is another staircase leading up, but this is a vault location that we will cover later. Moving directly north from the planters, you will find a hallway that leads to a player spawn. The first open room on the right has a junk box as well as a wooden crate that generally has pouches or junk items. Continuing straight down the hall, you will see a bright light and a generator. It is always worth checking the top of this generator as it can spawn an electric drill needed for bunker upgrades. Further down the hall, you will find a red toolbox on some wooden crates. These toolboxes often spawn junk items that can fit into the tool category. To the left of the toolbox, you can find a dark office with a locker and a computer that generally has a food and water spawn and an intel item spawn. In the darker corner of this room, you can find a junk item spawn on the shelf and another wooden crate on the floor. Straight across the hallway from this room, you can find a room that resembles a doctor's office. On the computer in this room, you can generally find a food and water spawn, and within this room, there is also a med box on the patient bed and a household item spawn on the sink next to the bed. As you are moving through these halls or any other halls in Metro, look for barrels, stacked wooden crates, and other environmental props as they often have junk item spawns on them. As you get to the end of this hallway, you will find a dark room on the right with a junk box, and a medical room on the left. This medical room is a player spawn and contains 2 med boxes plus a few other static med spawns around the room. Going back to the circular room with the planters, if you head to the south, you will find a concrete hallway. To the right of this hallway is an extract, and the rest of the map is to the left. At the end of the hallway to the left, you can find several barrels covered with a tarp. Behind these barrels is a stack of green wooden crates. Anytime you see these green wooden crates, they will either have grenades or weapon attachments. These particular crates drop grenades. If you continue behind those barrels, you will find a doorway that leads to a bathroom. The bathroom has a junk box, a med crate, and a few junk item spawns. Leaving the bathroom, you can find a room on the left side that has yellow stairs. These yellow stairs will take you up to the main level where all the train cars are. On the other side of the hallway from the stairs, you can find more of these stacked green crates. These ones contain weapon attachments. Just north of the green crates, you can find a large metal gate that is slightly opened. If you head into that area, you will find the final 2 sections of the area that I have categorized as the med area. Within the main area of this room, you can find an extract clearly visible from the metal door. To the right of the metal door, you can find a one-way room that has 2 lockers, a weapon crate, a grenade crate, and more food and water spawns. Going back into the main room, it is worth checking all around the edges of the room if you are looking for junk items. There are a variety of junk item spawns around the exposed metal and pipes lining the walls. If you move up the stairs, you can find a larger box that tends to drop armor, helmets, or backpacks. At the top of the stairs on the balcony, you will see more stacked green crates that contain weapon attachments. Additionally, if you look left of these crates, you can see a weapon crate above the extract. You can access that weapon crate by jumping onto the pipes and running along the walls in the main room. As you move through the door at the top of the stairs, you are now in the area I call the second level. Moving straight through the door, you should see a hallway with metal bars around the edges. If you continue straight through this hallway, you can find the showers. You will have to visit this area in the future for a quest. The showers have 3 lockers, a variety of household junk item spawns, food water spawns on the benches, and you can find helmet spawns in the white square cubbies along the wall. Leaving the showers, you can find a staircase on the left that goes up to the 3rd level hallway behind the conference room. To the right, you will find a room with several military-style computers. I refer to this room as the TOC, but you can call it whatever you want. Within this room, there are several tech item spawns for things like CPUs, case fans, RAM, and sometimes GPUs. Additionally, there are 2 lockers within this room. If you move back through the doorway with the metal rails and look to the right, you can find the kitchen. This kitchen contains several food and water spawns, a med box, a toolbox, 2 lockers, and even a high value item spawn. Additionally, most of you probably know this, but for the select few of you that don't, there's a back room in the kitchen where more food and water spawns. Right next to the kitchen, you can find a staircase that can take you up to the 3rd level, the main level, and the bomb room. If you continue down the hall on the kitchen side, you will find an open room with a forklift and an armor box in the middle. If you're in need of car batteries, make sure you check the seat of the forklift. Along the south wall of this room, you can find 2 barrack style rooms. The one on the left has a weapon crate, a med box, and a few junk item spawns on the computer desk. Additionally, if you're looking for the rat poison for your hideout upgrade, I have found it somewhat consistently on the bunk closest to the bathroom. The barracks room on the right has a toolbox, a med box, a static armor spawn, an armor crate, and a few junk item spawns on the computer desk. Straight across from the doorway to the barracks room, you will find a little corner structure with shutters. Within that room, you can find food and water spawns and an armor box. Out the door of this corner structure and to the left, you will find the lower conference room area where you will find a little dude spawn, a white desktop drawer, and 2 lockers. Behind the desk, you can find stairs that will take you up to the conference room on the 3rd level. In the main room where you can find the forklift, you can also look around and find a partially open metal gate. Behind this metal gate, you can find an extract, a junk box, and some junk item spawns. In the back of the room, you will find a staircase that leads you up to the armory vault area. If you head back into the main room with the forklift and look west, you will also see a tunnel with an incline. This tunnel will take you up to the main level with the trains and contains a side room that has junk item spawns as well as your occasional chip spawn. Before we move up a level, let's cover the underground railway area real quick since it is still on the 2nd level. You can access this area from the sewer looking area directly across from the kitchen, the door at the end of the train tracks on the main floor, or a ladder that I will cover later. The underground railways area has the West Railways extract and a series of tunnels and side rooms that have junk item spawns, as well as a few of those stacked green crates mentioned before. If you enter the area near the kitchen, you can find a weapon crate tucked away into the corner. There's multiple ways to ascend floors, but let's backtrack a bit and cover upper conference room area. To get to this area, you need to travel up the stairs behind the little dude spawn in lower conference room. Once you reach the top of the stairs and turn left, you will find a long conference style table. This table has 3 ammo cans and commonly spawns guns, weapon attachments, and grenades. Looking around the room, you can also find 2 lockers, a high value item spawn, and some food and water spawns. When you leave the conference room, there is a dark room on the right. Within that room, you can find a toolbox, a wooden crate, and several junk items for hideout upgrades. Don't forget to check the dark closet in this room for even more junk to fill your bag. Immediately outside the door and to the right, you should find a wooden crate that can spawn a variety of things. Moving down the hallway even further, you will find a small office marked with a reddish purplish flare. This office has 2 lockers and a white desktop drawer. Moving straight out of this office, you can find a staircase that can take you down a level to the kitchen, or up to the main level, or up to the bomb room, depending on how far you go. The hallway leading to these stairs also has a few industrial shelves that are littered with useful junk items for your hideout upgrades. If you were to continue down the hall instead of go to these stairs, you would find another room with a staircase going down near the showers on the 2nd level. Additionally, on one of the spools in this room, you can commonly find a battery. Sometimes it's the car battery and sometimes it's the smaller motorcycle battery. Either way, you'll eventually need both to progress in quests and upgrade your hideout. Further down the same hallway on the 3rd level, you can find another staircase that will take you up to the main level where all the trains are. If you travel up these stairs, you will be in the southeast portion of the main level near the staircase heading up to the Hound statue. Directly in front of the staircase, you will find an industrial shelf with a few junk junk spawns, as well as more junk on the barrel to the left of the stairs. Directly next to the initial staircase leading down, you will find more of the stacked green crates containing grenades. If you travel west of the staircase, you will find a room behind a large metal door. This door has to be opened in the bomb room. I will cover exactly how once we get to that portion of the video, but for now, I will cover the loot found in that room. Left of the entrance on the first shelf, you will find a nade crate. Going clockwise along the walls can help you find the 2 weapon crates, 2 ammo cans, and the armor box. If you can't find the second weapon crate, make sure to check behind the covered barrels in the back corner of the room. The next room to the west has the staircase that leads back down to the med area. At the top of the spiral staircase, you can find more green stacked crates filled with a couple grenade spawns. If you travel up the stairs in the back of this room, you can sometimes find a water spawn, but other than that, there isn't much else up there. Moving to the middle of the room, you can find 4 lootable train cars on the north track. In the first train car going from east to west, you can find a gun crate as well as 2 ammo cans. The next car over heading west contains an armor box as well as an ammo can. The last 2 cars heading west contain a large box, a junk box, and a weapon crate. Additionally, you can find a large box on the last car of the train on the south tracks, and a junk box at the doorway at the end of the tracks heading west. While you're at the end of the tracks, look around, there is also an extract. At the end of the tracks on the east side, you can find a doorway that leads down a level to the underground railway tunnels I mentioned earlier. Go ahead and lock in for me, because this is very easily going to be the hardest part of the video to follow. There are a lot of rooms on the north side of the tracks, and these rooms branch off in a few different directions. Some are dead ends, and some loop back around to the middle of the main level. To keep it simple, I will start from the bottom of the bomb room stairs and cover everything to the right of that. Immediately rounding the corner from this area, you will find a well-lit area with 2 ammo cans on wooden crates. Moving on from the ammo cans, you can find a room with rows of industrial shelves. The entrance to this room is somewhat illuminated with a blue flare. Within this room, you can find 6 ammo cans, a weapon crate, and an armor crate. Additionally, there is a ladder marked with blue flares. This is the top of the ladder mentioned previously in the railway's tunnel portion of the video. This area is called Warehouse according to the game, and you will need to visit it for a quest later. The quest asks you to do something along the lines of find the hidden area in Metro's warehouse. Directly next to this room, you can find an extract as well as a little office with another white desktop drawer. The next area isn't immediately next to the office, but if you follow the wall out on the right, you will run into a T-junction. If you follow the hallway to the end, you will find a staircase that leads to a player spawn. If you are hunting for junk, food, or water, check the walls of this area, as there are a few junk spawns on the sandbags and crates along the wall, as well as some food and water spawns on the wooden seats on the wall. On the wall opposite of the staircase, you will find another office similar to the last one. Within this office, there are 2 lockers. Heading back out the way you came in, you will find a purple hall on your right. Before you go down the hall, you can check under the industrial shelves there. This area has more green stack crates containing weapon attachments. On the ledges along the wall in the purple lit hallway, you can sometimes find food and water spawns. After the purple hallway, there is another room on the right with a staircase. Within this room, you can find a weapons case and some stacked green crates containing armor and helmets usually. There is also an intel item spawn behind the crates in this room. Lastly, the staircase in this room will take you back down to the room next to lower conference. Directly across from this room, you can find some industrial shelves that have junk spawns on them. Continuing right, you will find a room with a wooden crate sitting on an illuminated desk. Additionally, this room has 2 holes in the walls. The hole in the wall directly across from the entry point leads you back to the ladder at the top of sewers. The hole behind the desk leads you into the bathroom. You have to visit this bathroom area for a later quest. The quest will require something along the lines of visit the hidden passage near the metro bathroom. In the bathroom, you can find junk spawns as well as a toolbox in the sink. This bathroom loops back around into the middle area of the main level. Once you exit the bathroom, there is a dark room to the left. If you didn't know, this room goes deeper than just the initial grenade crate. The back of this room has a weapon crate and industrial shelves that commonly spawn weapon attachments. There is also a staircase in the middle of this main level on the north side of the tracks. Along the wall of this staircase, you can find a weapon crate. This staircase can take you up to the bomb room or down to the 2nd and 3rd levels. This staircase is the one next to the kitchen on the 2nd level and the one at the end of the industrial shelf hallway on the 3rd level, behind the conference room. Bomb room is probably the least confusing area in all of Metro. On the east side of the room, you will find an X on the wall. You can plant the bomb on this X in order to gain access to the vault. Within this vault, you can find 2 filing cabinets with VHS spawns, a safe, 2 lockers, and a couple random item spawns on the desk. In the center of the bomb room, you can see a control panel overlooking the main level. You can find a PC for electronic spawns, 2 white desktop drawers, and 2 lockers. On the control panel, you might notice a yellow lever. This lever opens the closed room I mentioned on the main level. Be careful when pulling this lever. If you pull it too fast, it sometimes just doesn't work. West of the lever, there is a dark corner with industrial shelves and some environmental lockers. The industrial shelves have a toolbox and a wooden crate. The locker has a static spawn for junk items, but I have found chips here pretty frequently. If you head out of the door on the west side of the room, you will find a wooden crate and industrial style shelves. Across from the shelves, you will find that staircase that leads you back down to the other levels. Now let's get into what many of you have probably been waiting for. Let's break down the key spawns within Metro. There are a ton, especially especially with the map being on the smaller end. There's a high concentration of key spawns around the conference room area, so let's start there. In the lower conference room area, you can find 2 potential key spawns. One in the suitcase near the door of the room, and the second is on the desk where the little dude spawns. Don't leave the area yet though, because if you head straight out of the lower conference door into the corner room with shutters, you can find another potential key spawn on the desk near the food and water spawns. Look out of the shutters at the metal door by this room. When you travel through the metal door, there's a doorway that takes you to a staircase. Under this staircase, you can find a suitcase with another key spawn. Once you check this spawn, you can head up the stairs directly above you and swing a right into the room with 2 holes in the wall. Next to the wooden crate on the desk in front of the bathroom, you can find another potential key spawn. After you check this one, you can turn around and head into the hole in the wall that takes you down to sewers. Instead of dropping down the ladder, cross the pipes to the weapon crate and check the brick ledge. It might take some finesse, but you can find a potential key spawn on this ledge. From here, there are a few other key spawns that you can still check. In the med area on the first floor, you can check the table immediately left of the doorway in the bottom floor of the 2-story corner office. I have also found a key on one of the middle desks in med area, but this has only happened once and could have been dropped by a player or just happened to be a god tier spawn. You can also find another potential key spawn on the second level in the area I called the talk. On the desk straight through the doorway, you will find the potential key spawn. The last potential key spawn I have personally been able to confirm is in the small office on the main level. This isn't the office next to the warehouse area with the ladder, but the office 1 hallway over towards sewers. On the wooden desk in this area, you can find a potential key spawn. Additionally, there are 3 speculative key spawns. I say they're speculative because I've heard that they exist, but personally I've never seen them, so check them out when you get the chance, but honestly just take them with a grain of salt. The first one is in the office next to the warehouse. I feel like I might have seen one here before, but it was early into the game when I was still getting lost, and I very easily could have mixed it up with the office closest to sewers. The second one is in the office on the 3rd level marked by the purple flare. I've never seen a key spawn in here personally, but there are rumors it might be possible. Like I said, check it if you have the chance, but this one may not exist. The last one is in the hidden room next to medbay. When you cross the partially open metal gate into the room with a balcony, you will find the one-way room on the right. One of the desks in this room supposedly has a key spawn, but again, I have personally never seen the spawn hit, so for now it's all just rumors. Now that we've covered the key spawns, let's cover the areas where you can actually utilize some of these keys. So the sewer room vault can be found right next to the player spawn in the main room of the sewer. Within this vault, you can find 2 lockers, a safe, a weapon crate, an armor box, and an industrial shelf with junk spawns. The armory vault can be found on the main level directly across from the staircase room with the suitcase key spawn underneath. If you're having trouble, go up the ladder from sewers, continue straight until you see industrial shelves and a green door on your right. This green door is the armory vault. Within this vault, you can find a couple nade spawns, 2 armor boxes, 3 ammo cans, and 2 lockers. Data storage is one of the legendary vaults on Metro. It can be found in the middle of the staircase directly across from the armory vault. The door to this area looks like a reinforced steel vault door. Within this vault, you can find a static spawn that can drop keys, 3 filing cabinets with VHS tapes, a desk with lootable shelves, and a PC. On top of the lootable desk, you can potentially get a GPU spawn. Officer's room is a legendary vault on Metro. It can be found on the 2nd level across from the lower conference room area. Within the officer's room, you can find intel item spawns, a med box, 2 lockers, some food and water spawns, a safe, a few electronic item spawns, a weapon case, an armor crate, 4 ammo boxes, a potential Malyuk 762 static spawn, and some various household items in the bathroom. Control room is another legendary vault that can be slightly confusing based on the name. When I hear control room, I think of the bomb room, but this vault is on the 2nd floor of one of the corner structures in the circular med area. If you can't figure out which one exactly, it is the one with a staircase up to the 2nd story, but no accessible 1st story. This is a massive vault for med supplies and money. There are a couple med boxes, several blue drawers for med supplies, and various med supply static spawns within this vault. If you sell your morphine injectors and other high-end medical supplies, you can make at least $150,000 off this room alone. It also has a boarded up window that allows you to see out over the circular med area in case anyone is around. Outside of the vaults, I am aware of 3 bomb spawns throughout the map. One of the areas is the industrial shelf within the bomb room itself. It can be a little dark in the area it is found, and you might miss it if you don't check carefully. The second area where it can be found is the hole in the wall where you travel from the sewers into the med area. If you look on the cement bags directly next to the hole in the wall, it can spawn there. The third spawn is in the last train car on the north tracks. It can spawn right next to the large box. The bomb can also spawn in some of the vault areas. I have personally found the bomb in both sewer room vault and the armory vault. In the sewer room vault, it can be found on the industrial shelves above the weapon case. In the armory vault, you can find it on the cement bags along the wall. Let's cover the Metro boss. Metro's boss spawns with an Alton helmet, a 7.62x39 Malyuk, and a very solid level 6 armor rig. He can be a little tricky as he loves to sprint around the map and catch you where you least expect it. I have primarily run into him on the main level and in some of the lower levels around the staircase staircases that lead up to the main level. When you shoot, the boss gets stupid aggressive and will find you if he doesn't get distracted. My advice for fighting him is make sure you have nades when possible and aim for the glass in the face shield. When he reloads, he will begin to sprint away from you, but be careful, because once the reload is done, he will come back to body you if you aren't careful. To close out, let me give you some of my general tips to succeed and make the most out of Metro. If you need armor, you should be checking scav bodies. It is not uncommon to find that scavs are wearing level 4 armor, which obviously isn't the best, but having a stockpile of mid-tier armor will make the upgrade process that much easier. Don't underestimate the scavs. Scavs on Metro can run high tier ammo. Even with the best armor, the slightest mistake can result in a painfully quick scav death. If you aren't wearing a full face helmet, it is completely possible to go from happy and living to cold and dead in the blink of an eye. If you are alone on Metro, you can hear the scavs getting aggressive. Every time you shoot or make noise, every scav will begin to go crazy trying to find you, and it's not impossible to get absolutely mobbed by 3 or more scavs at once. Speaking of the lethality of the scavs, watch your armor durability. You can check it with a Mika device. If you are in Metro long enough and taking a scav round here and there, you might find that bots are starting to black limbs with a single shot. Even with boss armor, you might find that after 20 minutes in Metro, your armor is cooked. You might be better off swapping with the armor you have on your back. Good luck with your future raids in Metro. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please feel free to drop a like, a comment, subscription, or all 3. It's very much appreciated. In the future, there will be a lot more tutorials just like this one. A lot of it is inspired by the comments that you guys are providing, so keep it up, and I'll keep making videos, and we can only go up from here.